Hey everyone, this is your third and final video for the week. I am just going to give you a quick rundown in case anyone has any concerns or anxieties about how we'll be grading this first major assignment for you, since it's by far the biggest chunk of your grade so far. So I'm mostly making this video to, calm your anxieties, to A, give you some tips and tricks onto how to get the best grade possible, and B, let you know that, like, if the effort is there and I see that, your grades will be fine. And I don't want you to be stressing too much over, the small stuff. I don't want you to be sweating the small stuff, basically. And so I just want to let you know that in general, I would say that I am not a harsh grader, but I do have a few specific things that I look into and that I take especially into account as I'm giving my grades. So I'm letting you know those now so that you know what to look out for as you're completing your revisions and turning your first draft into your final draft. So the first thing I'm going to touch on, just because I talked about it a little bit in the revision video already, is that I'm not a stickler for length, but I am kind of a stickler for substance. If you have any anxiety over it, sometimes I get questions about this, and I've had them myself, where it's like, okay, they said, this paper needs to be 8 pages, and I'm on the 8th page, but it's kind of like 8.5. Do I need to add more? Will I get knocked for this? I don't care too much about that. If it's very obvious that you are not hitting the required length, that will be an issue, but I don't pay too much attention to that so much as I do just, is this an interesting thesis statement that is well backed up with supporting analysis and evidence? That's the number one thing I look for. So ask yourself that question. Is this thesis interesting? If I read this thesis statement in a different paper, would it make me want to keep reading? And by the time I get to the end of that paper, does it feel like they've made a solid argument for that thesis statement? That's number one for me. So keep that in your heads if you're looking to get the best possible grade on this. The next thing I want to bring up is that I am mostly looking for improvement from your rough draft to your first draft. And I say this because I think it's pretty normal in an academic setting to have some anxiety and some, imposter syndrome even, and feel like, oh my gosh, everyone else seems like they know what they're doing so much more than me and all that. How could I possibly, compete with them? I am looking for you to take the rough material provided in your first draft and turn that into the best possible argument you can from there. So one thing that comes up a lot in grading anxiety is things like grammar. Some people have a better intuitive grasp of grammar than other people. For some people, English isn't your first language, and so it's harder to remember, like, oh gosh, does the comma go here, that kind of stuff. We will be talking about grammar in more detail later on, but like I said in my last video, this is not about editing right now. It's about revision. It's about how to refine your thoughts in a big picture way. And so if you are stressed about something like grammar and how much that might potentially affect your grade, just remember, first of all, is this an interesting thesis and do I back it up? Second of all, that if I see effort and improvement from your first draft to your final, your grades will be fine. And so the last thing I want to leave off on is the number one thing you can do to lower your grade, which is to turn in your rough draft with a couple sentences added to pad out the length. If your final draft looks like your rough draft, you will probably not be getting a very good grade on this assignment, because I'm looking for revision. I am looking for that next deeper level of thought where you take what you've made so far, you take the feedback into account, you take the work you've done since then, and you turn it into something better. So it's pretty much by definition hard for me to give you a very good grade if all you do is take what you already have, pad it out a little bit, and turn that in. So don't do that. All right, and that's everything about grading. If you have any other specific questions or anxieties or worries, and just in general, if you're feeling like, oh my gosh, I've only got a couple days left and I'm still unsure, just remember you can email me at any time, and then I'm also still available for office hour appointments, and I can talk to you via phone, Skype. I have almost all the programs for this, so whatever is easiest for you. And to take advantage of that resource and get yourself set up and squared away. Other than that, I am excited to read your final drafts, and don't forget that they are due this Friday by 11:59 p.m. All right, have a good week, everyone.